Okay, hello you beautiful people, welcome back. I believe given the recent massive move on the upside from the lows about 13.5 to about the highs around 29.5 cents, which is more than 100% move, I believe right now it's actually time to talk about XLM and see what is going on in here. Now, in case you haven't checked the news, this move on the upside was completely based on news and fundamentals, and we got basically the DTCC announcement that they are going to partner with XLM, and XLM in that area is essentially going to act as a bit of a bridge. And I'm going to make a separate video on this maybe in a couple of days and tell you why this is actually important and what are the actual effects of this partnership on the token. But in this update, I actually want to talk about what is going on in here in terms of technical analysis and much more important than that, specifically Elliott Waves, because overall in XLM, if you remember, we were talking about just how bullish are we looking in here, and the idea from this point was, well, okay, either this is just a three-wave movement, or maybe we're gonna have wave 1, correction for 2, great move into wave 3, and then correction for 4, and yet another move up into wave 5. And specifically, we were talking about back then this very important area of support, and the idea was, as long as we are above here, this can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, no problem at all. On the other hand, we said get a break of this thing. The next target is going to be all the way down here around this key support between 25 to about 27.5 cents, and get a break of this thing. Okay, at that point, we're going to take this low and go maybe quite a bit slower. And well, like it or not, that's pretty much in XLM played out. However, this doesn't necessarily mean that we should be bearish. I mean, sure, right now, I do not believe that we are having, at least starting from this point, like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. However, having said this, I also do not believe just because this isn't an impulse, we should just go straight down and visit the lows and maybe even take the lowest low in here for the first target about 7.5 cents. We could do that in like an apocalyptic scenario, but no, that's not really my base case, especially given the recent news and events. Now, let's go on some lower time frames and check out the recent move specifically and see what is happening. So let's go around here. You see, Elliott suggests if you want to argue that we're gonna have hopefully our final low around here, maybe this is like a decent bit of support, then okay, off of the lowest low, you have to be able to find a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave. This specific count is called an impulsive movement. Rules for it are, we should not have overlapping of the waves between our wave 2 and 4, and in any kind of 5 wave, this wave 3 is simply not allowed to be the smallest wave. And for our sub waves, you know it, we're gonna have 5 wave up into wave 1, 3, and 5. Okay, and for our corrective movements, we can consider different scenarios. Let's say in this instance, maybe WXY for wave 2, followed by an ABCS structure for our wave 4. Now, here's a very important point. After completing a 5 wave, bullish or bearish, one way or the other, right around the highs is not going to be a buy opportunity, because again, one way or the other, we are going to have a bit of move down. And assuming that in here, we're going to get a correction, meaning what? This is going to be a rather slow and choppy and basically time-consuming move on the downside. Fair enough. This is overall a bit of a bullish setup, and right in here can be a decent long opportunity for you. Now, having said all this, let's go on the live chart in XLM and see what is going on in like very, very short. So the question is, do we have a 5 wave off of the lows? I'm here to tell you, you know what, maybe. You see, if I just go on maybe 30-minute time frame so we can see the candles a bit better, and I want to be very clear, in my own time, I rarely go on such lower time frames, okay? I'm just doing this for the sake of educational purposes, so I am thinking it's fine. Okay, where is our lowest low? Excuse me, let's just go on real quick. H1, there we go. It's actually right in here. So here's the thing. In my view, most likely in XLM, we had in this phase a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave up. This initial bounce is also a 5 wave. So you're having in here two sets of 5 waves, meaning what? Odds are this is actually an ABC zigzag, and also this can be a BCS structure down, maybe with a triangle into our wave B. And then what is going on in this whole area? I believe probably on a higher degree, starting from this point and not the highest side in XLM, we are having an ABC expanded flat, followed by a bit of a slow and choppy correction on the upside, maybe a zigzag, or maybe yeah, it could also be a bit of a flatter structure, no problem at all. And then from here, this is yet another ABC, This time though in form of a zigzag, and on a higher degree, what do you have? Probably a WXY in form of a flat and a zigzag. And I know right now a lot of you guys are screaming at the monitor that look, we are not allowed to consider an ABC expanded flat for wave W in case of a flat and a zigzag structure. But hey, guess what? I have seen these patterns way too many times to play out, so I do like to be a bit flexible with the rules. If you don't like it, you know what? That's absolutely fair enough. It's your opinion. I absolutely respect it. I'm just trying to be very much objective and come up with a bullish and also a bearish count at the same time. And according to the bullish scenario, I think this might very well be the best possible count. Now, what's going on in this initial phase up from this point, the lowest low about 13.5 to about the highs? I do think that if you go on some very low time frame, you are able to argue that this thing right in here is an impulsive structure on the upside. So how about this? Maybe in XLM, if we are lucky, and again, very important point, only and only if we are lucky, maybe this is wave 1, correction for wave 2, huge move up into wave 3, and what's next? Correction for 4, and another move up into wave 5. Hence why, according even to the bullish scenario, we are having a bit of a pullback. And right now, at least, I do not believe this pullback is like that much of a bearish sign. I think even if we are bullish, this pullback is just part of the process. And by the way, this is just a beautiful page perfect 1, 2, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into wave 3, correction for 4, another move on the upside into wave 5, and these are the subwaves for our larger degree wave 3. Now, what is going on now in this specific phase? Let's go on 15-minute time frame. Okay, so in my opinion, there's actually a very good argument to be made for this initial phase to be 5 wave down into an A leg to about this point and not the lowest low, because I believe from here we had an A, B, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 wave up into Z. So overall, this is an expanded flat into our wave B, and then we are having in here yet another 5 wave down into our C leg if you want to go according to the bullish scenario. Now, this thing has certain implications. Chief among them is this. In XLM, very soon, maybe in the next 48 to 72 hours, you need to, very important point, you need to see a rather strong bounce without a lot of overlapping of the waves. And by that, you know it, I'm talking about having a bit of a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 in order to, bare minimum, take this important high, about 27.5 cents. If we do such a thing at that point, it's essentially going to be confirmed that, yep, absolutely, this is a correction structure, hopefully into this higher degree wave 4. Where is it? There we go. And we're going to be on our way up to have a beautiful impulse into wave 5. And what's going to be the target for it? I think you can actually get help from classic technical analysis, meaning support and resistances. So I'm going to tell you in a bit what's going to be the target. But before we get into that, let's talk about some support and maybe some not necessarily bullish counts. Because you see, I told you earlier, in order to remain objective at any given moment, you should be able to find a bullish and a bearish count at the same time. And so far, we talked about all the positive stuff. How about the bearish scenarios though? You see, that actually depends completely once again on classic TA, meaning support and resistances. Now, here's the thing. Pay attention, please. This is key. In XLM, we do have a very important area of support from daily time frame, and it's actually between, let's zoom in more, 21.9, basically 22 to about 23 cents area. What if we get a break of this thing? Well, at that point, not good news, because the next target is actually going to be around this region, basically about 19.5 cents. And if we want to get a break of this thing, the next target, it is going to be all the way down here about 16.5 cents area. And at that point, having a bounce back or maybe not having a bounce back is going to be the least of our problems. Why? Because at that point, you're essentially going to have overlapping of the waves between this phase down and this phase, suggesting what? Yeah, maybe that 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 scenario that I showed you earlier, it's not going to be in play. And instead, maybe this whole situation on the upside is just a correction structure and our move down is going to continue. If such a scenario happens, please understand that right around the lows, especially with the recent great fundamental news, I'm going to talk about it in details in the next update. I believe right around the lows is going to be an absolutely magnificent buying opportunity. So we shouldn't really be sad about any kind of like deep move down in XLM, because now we have much more conviction than before, suggesting, yep, you know what, this is a great project with solid fundamentals, and we have seen some major adoptions now. So in the mid to long term, it makes perfect sense to argue we are going to see quite a bit of price appreciation for the token. And my final point, in XLM, if we want to continue our move up in order to take this high and confirm the fact that, yep, we are having a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and we are bullish. I told you earlier what's going to be the target. Well, in terms of classic TA, I think we do have a bit of a decent resistance, which is from weekly and daily time frame at the same time. And by the way, if you are wondering why did we get a bit of a reaction from here, that's because of this very important level, which is also from weekly and daily time frame. And again, if we confirm that this thing is a correction structure into 4 and we are going to continue our move up, the next target, yep, it is probably going to be right in here about between, I think it was 33 to about 36 and a half cents. So let's just go on 15-minute time frame. Okay, basically here's my final conclusion. If we are bullish in XLM, we have to see a rather strong bounce, hopefully soon, before we get a break of this thing in order to minimum take this important high about 27 and a half cents. At that point, it's going to be hopefully confirmed that we are looking optimistic and our move up is going to continue. And from here, you can expect then something like a 20-25% more move on the upside, which is lovely. Is it going to be a long opportunity though? That actually depends completely on the structures. And you know what? I'm not going to talk about the future structures right here, right now. Let's just get the structures and then we are going to make new updates and see what might be based on them the next likely move. And I hope I explained everything well and you understood what is going on in a Stellar Lumens chart. And until the next update, I hope you have a wonderful time. Goodbye.